So in this part of 2.4, we are going to talk about perpendicular lines. Now, similar to when they define parallel lines, this does again happen in three parts. So the first one is if two non-vertical lines are perpendicular, so they're outright, again, stating line 1 and line 2 are perpendicular, then the product of their slopes is -1. Now, here in just a second, I am going to talk about a slightly different way to look at it. Gives the same result as what they're talking about here, but it's an easier way for us to calculate with it, okay? The second thing is if you have two equations of lines and you pull their slopes and the product of their slopes is -1, then you can conclude that the lines are perpendicular. And then lastly is, again, that whole specialty cases one is we've got a horizontal line that has a slope of 0. Obviously, when you do 0 multiplied with anything, it's going to be 0. So we're not going to be able to get that perpendicular definition. And a vertical line having an undefined slope, if something's undefined, I can't do computations with it, then a vertical and a horizontal are going to be perpendicular. Now, one of the things that I want to show you with doing this is when we're actually processing on perpendicular stuff. So the concept here is, let's say that I have a slope of 2/3. Now, the way that this is going to work, so that I need to, because I'm trying to figure out what's going to make this equal -1. Okay. Well, first off, I'm going to need to pick up a negative. Seems like all my markers are going over here. Okay, I'm going to need to pick up a negative. The other thing is, and you've probably seen this before, is we're going to use the reciprocal. The idea here being is that I'm going to get 6/6, which is going to go to 1. So a lot of times you will see this called opposite reciprocal. Okay. You may also, I often call it flipped and switched. Okay, meaning that I flipped it over and I switched its sign. So for example, if I had -1/4, then the perpendicular is going to be to flip that over, 4/1, and switch its sign from negative to positive. This could be cleaned up to 4, okay? So now, the example from the PowerPoint that they want us to do, okay, is it says, find the slope of a line that is perpendicular. We're actually going to find the full equation of the line. Perpendicular to the line whose equation is x plus 3y minus 12 equals 0. Okay, so they're giving it to us in general form. We're going to need to do a little bit of work to get that into slope intercept so I can get the slope. And then they want us to go through the point 1, -2. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to solve this for y equals. So I'm going to subtract x and add 12. So I've got 3y equals -x plus 12. I'm going to divide by 3. So I've got y equals -1/3 x plus 4. Now, for perpendicular, okay, I'm going to flip and switch this slope or find opposite reciprocal, whichever way you want to think about that. So it's going to be +3/1, which can be cleaned up to 3. Now, there's the slope. That is our perpendicular slope. If we're going to go ahead and find this into the equation of a line, we're going to utilize this. So we can start in point slope. Okay, again, all we would do for point slope is clean this minus up. Okay, so there it would be in point slope. Okay. If we're going for slope intercept, I'm going to go ahead and distribute, and then I'm going to subtract the 2. So I'm going to have y equals 3x minus 5, and this is in our slope intercept form. Okay, so either one, here it is in point slope. Here is slope intercept form. This is your perpendicular slope. for that